All right.
So what kind of films have you produced?
A lot of the stuff I do, I've been more doing sort of experimental stuff, so it's a lot of trying to veer away from the traditional like narrative short film that a lot of people associate with filmmaking. So like lately specifically, I've been kind of doing like sort of like sensory experimental stuff where it's trying to create textures with sound and like visuals and like trying to sort of evoke like other senses using just the audio and visuals. But other than that, yeah, I do some like traditional like narrative pieces where it has like a storyline.
That's cool. What inspired you to start making films?
I started making movies with my brother first. That was like when we were very young. Like I was like 6 years old, and he was like around like 7 or 8, 9 years old. Just doing like really like crude and just not very good stuff. Just pointing the camera and just sort of like doing it as we go, sort of stuff, like very improvised sort of sketches. But then a lot of it like comes from like I know YouTube has been a really big like inspiration for just seeing how people make movies on YouTube, and there's obviously a lot of resources for people teaching other people how to like do stuff like that on YouTube. So I'd say that's another source.
How many videos have you created so far?
I could probably give you an exact count from my channel, but like it depends on, because I do a lot of like different stuff. Like sometimes I do like a 15-second like Instagram post, something like that, where it'll be like some sort of funny like animation sort of thing. I don't know, like maybe like 20 or 30 I want to say, but that's like a very wide range of different types of videos.
So how do you think your films have affected this community?
That's a pretty good question. Being like so young and kind of inexperienced, I think a lot of it mainly might be like the fact that someone might see something that I've made and want to make something, just anything like that might be like it. Like so it might inspire other people. I'd hope it might inspire other people to make films just by watching my content. But I guess specifically right now, yeah, I'm working with something like with the library right now, so that's more of like I'm trying to think of like how I could phrase it, but it's more like more like freelance stuff I do, where it's like people hiring me to like promote something like for their business or for like an event that they're having. Like I did one for the country club. I did like a video for the Centennial celebration, where it's like sort of like capturing the moment of that, and that was sort of like making that so people would look back on it in the future and like see sort of like what they were doing at that party, and like sort of look back at that good and positive experience.
How long does a typical film take to create?
I spend like, yeah, it's a very wide range. Like I've spent like a few hours making something where it's like the 15-second. I spent like a year making like a 17-minute completely narrative short film. But I'd say the average would be like a few days maybe. It'll take me like a few days from start to finish. Like if those are like working days, so I might like not work on it for a few days and then go back to it and like revisit it, make changes or something like that. But it's like a few days like working on it.
How do you come up with ideas for making your films?
A lot of that has to do with what sort of media I'm into at that point. Like if I'm watching, especially when it comes to when I do like comedy stuff, if I'm making like a comedy sketch, a lot of it has to do with like if I'm watching a show like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, or like The Office, a lot of the humor will be like derived sort of in that style, and just like I know The Office is like been very monumental in like my sort of sense of humor and how I write stuff. So yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with like what I'm taking in, and because I